Hi guys. Now, the last video ended with me not really giving a good example, okay? Because clearly no one is going to run the 10-meter sprint in 1 second. The point I'm making though is that your second set of results must be better than your first set of results. So again, multi-stage fitness test, if I got level 6.3, I have to improve on that. So it has to get higher here, okay? And then I put a yes in the box here, just like so. So in this box down here, it should be yes, yes, yes. My body fat percentage needs to go down, so my results need to be better. My press-ups or sit-ups needs to go up, and my medicine ball throw needs to go up. Don't forget, at each stage, when you copy and paste things across and you fill things in, hit the save button, just to make sure that nothing goes wrong and you don't lose a load of your work. Okay, then we move on to the last little bit. So what we need to do here, and again, if it goes a little bit skew, I can just press enter and it sorts my boxes out for me. Okay, what I need to do here is kind of summarize my 6-week training program. So I use specificity in the planning of my session, the way I planned my training program to improve my results on specific components of fitness. Anything that's in blue, you need to delete and add your information to. Anything that's in black can stay where it is. So in this first box, it's saying these components that I wanted to improve were, and what we do here is we relate back to the aim. So in here, which components did we want to get better at based on our first set of results? So I scroll all the way down and that's what I fill in here. So let's say I needed to improve my bleep test, which is cardiovascular endurance, and my mid-thigh pull, which is strength. I would put in here cardiovascular endurance and strength. What I would then do is change that to black and then I'm good to move on. Okay. Overload. I overloaded my body by training different ways from week to week. That is true. That is in black, so that can stay. The frequency increased from 4 training sessions in week 1 to 4 training sessions twice a day in week 6. Well, that's not quite right. Okay, this example is in blue, so therefore it needs to change, and I need to fill in what we actually did. Okay, the frequency remained the same throughout. Okay, so I changed that. So from 5 training sessions in week 1 to 5 training sessions in week 6. Then I change it to black. The intensity ranged from 50 to 60% in week 1, well, we can change that to just 50% in week 1, to 80 to 90% in week 6. Well, it didn't. Okay, it was 90% in week 4, which was when we were focusing on power. My 1 rep max score increased throughout the week, so the intensity of the weights I was lifting increased. That is true, so that now can be turned to black. So it's a case of going through and just changing the wording to what we actually did. So the time I trained increased, ranging from 40 minutes in week 1, well it wasn't, it was 25, to 50 minutes in week 3, well it wasn't, to 2 times 30-minute sessions in week 6. Well, we didn't do 2 sessions, we did 1 session. Okay, so I will go back up and I will see what I did in week 3, change this. I'll see what I did in week 6 and add it into here, and then I'll change the whole thing to black, and then I'll move on. Okay, the type of exercises I did each week varied to avoid my training program becoming boring and repetitive. Give a specific example. So, for example, in week 1, I completed circuits and boxercise. In week 3, I completed interval and EMOM. And in week 5, I completed yoga and Pilates. Okay, again, all true because it's in our program above. Change it to black and then move on. Okay, final one. I progressed my training program by always changing the frequency. Well, we didn't always change the frequency because we stayed 5 days a week, but we did increase the intensity, the time, and the type. And again, just give some examples from throughout your week. Okay, don't forget to change it to black. This next section is all about periodization. And as you can see, there's some wording down the left-hand side which we're probably not familiar with. Okay, we'll come to those in a second. As you can see here, there's black text and there's blue text. Again, the blue needs changing into your words. So I'd retype it and then I'm going to change it to black and then I'm going to move on. Okay, so periodization is all about a period of time in which we're going to train. Okay, and it's split up into these three little words here: macrocycle, mesocycle, and microcycle. And basically, these are all periods of time. So macro, if you think of a big warehouse, macro warehouse, it's big, it's the biggest period of time. Okay, if we go to micro, you think of something like a microscope that allows you to look at small things. That is the smallest and shortest period of time. And meso is in the middle, so it's the middle period of time. Okay, so our macro cycle is going to be a period of 12 months. So the aim of my macro cycle is to prepare myself for something that I'm going to compete in 12 months time. Now again, in blue it says here, choose an event that's going to happen at the end of the season. So maybe a cup final. Okay, you might have an event, a marathon that you're going to run for. Why are you doing this training program? Okay, you need to come up with a scenario of something that's happening in 12 months time and you need to change it into here. Our mesocycle is 6 weeks. Okay, so the length of a mesocycle is 6 weeks. Now the aim of this mesocycle is, and you're going to copy and paste your aim from week 1, which was in that box. If I scroll all the way to the top, my aim was in here. Okay, my goals. So I copy and paste everything from this box and I paste it in here. Obviously change it to black because that is the aim of my next 6 weeks. Okay, and finally my microcycle. Within this training program, I've produced 6 microcycles. Now a microcycle is the shortest period of time. We've done 6 of them. So a microcycle lasts for 1 week. These microcycles have progressed from week 1 to 6, showing progression in frequency, intensity, time, and type. Well, they haven't because we haven't increased the frequency. So I get rid of that and I change it to black, and then that's that done. Last 2 boxes, variation. I gave variation of exercises within my program to show what exercises I could have chosen that would have given me a similar workout. For example, give a specific example from your plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that in a second. In week 4, and all I'm going to say is, in week 4, I chose to do a circuit class. The exercises I chosen were ... And I'm just going to copy and paste some of the 9 exercises. Okay, I might just copy and paste Tuesday's exercises. Then what I would say, I could have varied this by choosing the following exercises. Okay, and what I'm going to do, just check my spelling there. What I'm going to do then is copy and paste another 9 exercises that I could have done in the circuit class, just to show that I varied my session and I had an idea of what I could have done to avoid it becoming boring. Once I've done that, I'm going to delete the blue and then I'm going to move on. the last box here, reversibility. When planning my training program, I ensured reversibility did not occur by making sure all of the components of fitness will work frequently. That is all true. That is black, so that can stay. Once you've done that, that is your assignment complete. Now what you need to do is you need to go back through from page number 1, and you just need to make sure that every single page is completed. Every box is filled in. Okay, every result on the first page is filled in. You've done your goal and you've completed your goal and your aims of your session. You then need to make sure that every single week you've got planned activity and you've got at least 9 exercises. If you've got 8 or less, it will fail. Okay, so you need at least 9 every week. You need to make sure that you've discussed every training and it's relevant to what you've put above. You've got your diet and you've got an effort level. Even on rest days, you fill in your diet and your effort level and you write rest in the box. Then you make sure that you talk about how you're going to improve from weeks 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and 5 to 6. Again, making sure that you keep the same structure as the example that I've given here. Make sure every box is filled in, and you do that for all 6 weeks. Finally, you make sure that all of your second set of results that you put in are better, either faster or longer or higher than your first set of results. So there's yes, yes, yes. Remember, if there's a no in this box, if it stays the same or it goes down, you will fail this assignment. So make sure your second set of results are better. Then finally, you fill in all of these pages by changing the blue text to examples of your own from your program above. Change the text to black, save it, and then submit. If you've got any questions, guys, I'll be available on Tuesday mornings. You can contact me via Canvas. Good luck. Let me know how you get on.